Welcome to the Donley Auctions Hour, where history meets the highest bidder. Hi, I'm Susan.
And I'm Randy Donley. Each Saturday at 7 p.m., we're here to bring you the thrill of the auction, the behind-the-scenes scoop, and everything in between.
We've got amazing stories behind the treasures, even some crazy tales you would not believe. We'll share insider tips for both buyers and consigners.
So whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your journey, get ready for a wild ride through the world of auctions. Join us right here on WLS 890 AM and
check out our website at DonleyAuctions.com. That's DONLEY auctions with an S.com.
Hi, I'm Randy Donley, and I'd like to welcome you to the Donley Auctions Hour. We're going to be broadcasting to you every Saturday night at 7 p.m. I'm here tonight with my brother Mike Donley, and Mike, tell our audience what they're going to be hearing.
Well, we've been running an auction company now for 10 years.
At least, yeah.
10, 12 years, something like that. And we specialize in antique auctions, specializing in things like guns and military, phonographs and music boxes, coin-operated games. We don't do things like furniture and china and things like that. We're a very specialized auction company. So we'll be taking people through the process of how they can liquidate their collections and such.
And I'd actually like to let our audience know a little bit more about us, you and I, Mike and Randy Donley, and how we got started. And that is, you probably know us best from the last 50 years that we operated the Wild West Town in Union, Illinois. Mm-hmm. It's a business our family, Mike and I, and our parents actually started back in 1974. So we started, of course, as a tourist attraction with a Wild West Town, which also displayed Larry Donley, our father's collection of antiques, specializing in antique phonographs and music boxes. But over the years, Mike, our whole life, that's all we've been doing is both buying and selling and auctioning antiques.
Yes, we help people build collections across the country, actually, and specializing again in phonographs and music boxes, but other things, guns and militaries too. We had nice collections of that here at the Wild West Town. And so it got to a point where those collectors had grown older and such, and they were retiring and passing away, and the families were coming to us and say, help us sell their collections. And so Donley Auctions was born. Actually, you started it in conjunction when we had the restaurant going in the banquet hall.
We're still operating a restaurant and banquet hall.
And transitioned into that, yeah.
And again, for those of you who don't know what the Wild West Town was, or where we were, for example, we're in the town of Union, Illinois. We have been here, again, for over 50 years. We're at the same location. Donley Auctions is at the same location as the Wild West Town, which is just off of Route 20, again, in Union, Illinois, which is only 50 minutes out of the city of Chicago.
Right, yeah. Very easily accessed just off Interstate 90. So
what we will be doing and coming up with every week is scenarios to help you sell your antiques. If you have a collection of just about anything, you can email us at consign@donleyauctions.com. That's CONSIGN at Donley, DONLEY, auctions with an S.com. Or go to DonleyAuctions.com and see our location, see what we do. Everything's online nowadays, so you can see very easily. That's Donley, DONLEY, DonleyAuctions.com. If you'd like to call us, we're at 815-923-7000. Right now, why don't we, Mike, talk about some of the auctions that we have coming up? Because, again, part of this show, what we would like to do is both have you as an audience to be buyers from our auctions, and, of course, we want you to call us so that we can sell your antiques.
Well, some of our upcoming auctions, and then we'll talk about the auction process too, how it works. But on July 17th, the first auction after the show here will be the online straight razor auction. Now, it's an online auction only. It will not be a live auction. That's what we mean by online. And that's featuring a straight razor collection. There's over 600 lots of antique straight razors in that collection. Some very important ones, too. There's straight razors that will sell for several $100s in that auction.
Sure.
July 19th, which is one of our first big auctions coming up in July, is the Jim Dvorak Model A collection. That's out of Lyons, Illinois. Now, Jim had passed away about 10 years ago, and his daughter has held on to the collection all this time. And
that's Model A's being automobiles.
Model A auto Fords,
in case you're not a car collector, you might not know what a
correct.
Model A is.
Yeah. Model A Fords. There's 6 cars in the collection. Really cool because they're survivors. They're original condition, as found. Some of them being from the late 20s and early 30s. And then there's a huge parts collection there, too. Jim did a lot of flea market sales and such where he would go to flea markets and sell parts and Model A part swaps, too. So there's a tremendous amount of Model A parts there. So if you're looking to restore a car or you need parts for your Model A, this will be the auction to come to. And that's live and online, will be July 19th. It's already up at our online at DonleyAuctions.com, so you can go up there and see what an auction looks like. You'll see it online, but if you come to the auction, the day of the auction, it will be live. We will be calling the numbers live. You'll have a chance to bid here live, or you can also bid online, or you can leave absentee bids. So many ways you can do this.
Absolutely, Mike. That's a very good point, because we're going to be training our audience here on what auctions are and how they can bid and all the different process. So we have very many ways for you to bid and or contact us. DonleyAuctions.com. Go online and find out a little bit more about who we are. As auctioneers, we're always looking for the next great auction. We're looking for items that you might have for sale. One of our taglines here is, we can make it fit in your wallet. We say that very seriously because we'll take collections that are in huge barns and we turn it into cash for you. And it's a very simple process. You only need to start by either calling us or emailing us, and we'll take it from there. We'll walk you through the steps as to how this happens. People are always amazed at how simple we make it for them.
Sure, we'll come in after we've reached an agreement on the auction. We sign the contract. We take it from there. We box the things up. We inventory it. Before the items leave your house, you're given a complete inventory of what we're taking. It comes to our facility here in Union, Illinois, where it gets unboxed and then inventoried into our facility. It has to be photographed by our photographers. It has to be described, and it has to be uploaded to a computer. And so it's a big process on our part, but we make it easy.
And we make it so easy. We travel all across the country.
Right? Yeah, we're constantly picking things up.
We just had a gentleman consign a huge military collection to us, military relics and weapons. This gentleman was listening to us in the state of Oregon, and he said, "My God," he said, when you said that you would come anywhere, he said, "I didn't really know if you guys were talking anywhere locally around Chicago, so I gave you a call, and here you are out at my place right now." And we moved the entire collection from Oregon. We were in and out of his location inside 2 days, moved the entire collection here. It's being photographed and described as we speak, and that auction comes up in February of this year. It's called the John Banister D-Day Collection. D-Day being, of course, D-Day from World War II.
Correct, yeah.
Normandy and so on. And it's just a great collection of World War II memorabilia that we'll be selling in February. But my point being that we'll go anywhere for a collection.
We always say one item or entire collection. Now, we're not going to drive across the country to pick up one pinball machine, but I mean, if it's a good enough item, we will travel for it. I mean, we have flown across the country for a single item. I mean,
well, you're 100% right, Mike. And to that point, we also do have shippers that we can recommend if you need a single item shipped here or anything. We always can work with that.
Mm-hmm.
Send photos of your items or collections to consign at DonleyAuctions.com. That's CONSIGN at Donley, DONLEY, auctions with an S.com. Let's talk about some of the items that we're looking for.
Yeah, there's a constant need for items here. Looking for vehicles. When we say vehicles, we're looking for any automobiles, vintage automobiles, or trucks even, motorcycles.
Pickup trucks really do well.
Oh, yeah.
Old ones.
Pickup trucks are probably hotter than cars are right now.
I would say you're right. Yeah.
And when we say cars, we'll take cars up until, the late 60s, early 70s?
Early 70s, sure.
Yeah, is probably the cutoff point. Motorcycles really looking for any year, even up to the 2000s and such will take motorcycles because they're always popular.
And we sell motorcycles year round. It's so funny. I had this winter somebody say to me, "Oh, I'd give you my motorcycles, but this isn't motorcycle season. I don't want to sell my motorcycles in the dead of winter." And I said, "It may be winter here, but we're all across the country. It isn't winter in Florida or Arizona. I mean, we're selling motorcycles year-round. You don't have to wait for seasonality. That's one great thing about an auction is, of course, we are online. We're selling all across the United States. And for that point, we'll talk about this in a little bit, too. We're selling things all over the world.
Yep. Yeah, we've shipped cars overseas many times.
Sure.
Yep.
And not only cars. I mean, think of our last auction. Just a few weeks ago, we ran an auction of music memorabilia. And it was antique phonographs, music boxes. We had Nickelodeons, orchestrions. Guitars. Oh, my God, the guitars did well. But we actually had people fly in for this auction because it was a live auction. We had them fly in from as far away as Seoul, South Korea, just for this auction, and we'll be shipping those items for him to South Korea. So
yeah, he enjoyed himself. He bought a lot of stuff.
He sure did. Thank you, Korea. My point being that we do ship all over the country, but we're not just looking for automobiles or motorcycles. I mean, we like everything related to automobiles. How about signs, Mike?
Yeah, we refer to that as Petroliana.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, anything gas station or oil, signs, equipment, the quart bottles, air pumps, boy, you name it, and anything, gas pumps. Gas pumps do very well, restored or unrestored. So
absolutely, and I'd like to point out that there are porcelain signs, Petroliana gas and oil signs that sell in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So often people call us and want us to help them, with prices. And we'll always be happy to give you our opinions as to, what something is worth. I had a gentleman not all that long ago call me, and he said, "Randy, I heard you on the radio. I just need to know right now. I have a gentleman in my garage. I'm having a garage sale, and I've got a sign, a big Chevy sign." And he said, he's offering me $3,000 for this sign. He said, now I'm getting a little nervous. Should I take it? And I said, well, my goodness, I would love to buy that sign for $3,000. I said, but I wouldn't do that to you. I recommend that you hang on to the sign. I'm sure we can get you more for it. And he said, $3,000 cash right now. And I said, no, I get it. I said, but you're going to do better at auction. Well, he held on to the sign. He brought it in. And within the next month, we had that sign sold. And that sign went for over $8,000.
Yep.
We say this all the time. You can't play the best guessing game if you want to get the top dollar for your items. Auctioning is really the way to go because we're online all across the world, actually, and thousands of people are bidding competitively on these items, and you're going to get a very fair dollar for what you have.
Well, the whole auction scene has changed in the last 20 years with the advent of the internet. It was before you showed up at an auction, and whoever showed up that day was it. I mean, if it was a rainy day, there might be 5 people standing there, and you watch your stuff go for nothing. That's not the case today. We're online, as Randy said. We're all over the United States. We'll have auctions where there'll be 15,000, 20,000 people online bidding on these items and looking at your items. You will get the fairest price for any given day for that item. And you can't play the guessing game. I mean, there's so many times that we even are astounded by what things bring. But if you get 2 people bidding on it and they want it bad enough, the sky's the limit on what things will go for.
That's really the case. Here's an example. Just a week ago Thursday, we had a phonograph auction. A phonograph that we had pre-auction estimated for $3,000 to $5,000 ended up bringing a price of $14,000. A nipper dog we had $1,500 pre-auction estimated, brought $5,800, and so on. I mean, $12,000 for a phonograph, $7,000 for a phonograph, $7,700 for a guitar. I'm telling you, it can only happen at auction.
And when you talked to the guy who consigned it afterwards, he told you that you got triple what he was expecting?
That's absolutely correct,
Yep.
Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely correct. So We love making people happy, and we want to make you happy. So if you've got items that you'd like to sell, call 815-923-7000 or online to DonleyAuctions.com, DONLEY.
And also consign at DonleyAuctions.com.
That'll get directly to the right department.
Directly to the right department. You send your photos electronically and describe the items you have a little bit and get handed off to one of our experts, and they'll get back to you right away.
Send photos of your items or collections to consign at DonleyAuctions.com. That's CONSIGN at Donley, DONLEY, auctions with an S.com. So I'm going to talk about a few more items that we're always looking for, and that's arcade games. Almost anything coin operated. Boy, pinball machines, Mike, huh?
Pinball machines 5-10 years ago, you couldn't give them away. I mean, they were unbelievable.
$300-400 pinball machines we're going for.
Now we got pinball machines bringing $6,000, $8,000, $10,000.
Absolutely. And if you've got one in your basement, again, you can't just sell it without getting some idea of what it's worth. So call us at 815-923-7000. We're always happy to help. Give you our opinions as to what we can get for these things.
And it doesn't matter if they're working or not because of, number one, we have people who can repair the games. And if they're beyond repair, people are always looking for parts. I mean, it's very important. That's how a game survives. Things get cannibalized to make other machines work. So don't think that just because it's not working, it doesn't have value.
Now, another item that we're always looking for is antique advertising. So that doesn't necessarily mean Petroliana. Can you think of some of the other types of advertising you want to let our listeners know about?
Oh, there's many things. There's signs, number one, signs for anything, for stores, neon signs, outdoor signs, little point-of-purchase display signs. I mean, didn't you just take in one of the most unusual signs for Brunswick phonographs the other day?
I had never seen in all the years. Now, Mike and I have been collecting over 50 years. So 100 years between us, and neither of us had ever seen an item like this. It's a small framed mirror that would have sat on a counter in a jewelry store, and the mirror, the frame of the mirror has Brunswick, as in Brunswick phonographs, cast right into the frame. And of course, in a jewelry store, you always want a mirror so that you can look at your necklace or purchases and so on and so forth. But this mirror is so interesting that when you light it from behind, the mirror becomes a trade sign for Brunswick phonographs, and you see the image of a beautiful woman listening to an old-time Victrola, and she's listening to this, and just what an interesting piece of advertising. The fact that it was dual purpose.
And nobody had ever seen it. Even all the collectors who turned up at the phonograph show, which we were at and set up at for auctions there, and nobody had ever seen one before. And it's going to be an exciting piece. When will that one be coming up? Do we know?
Probably the August auction, Mike.
August auction?
Yeah. Let's talk about the August auction for just a minute. August 16th and 17th, we refer to that as our summer classic because we have anything and everything in it. Now, we do have automobiles in the summer classic. I mean, one thing is that Charger.
69 Charger.
A 69 Charger.
Came out of a garage in Chicago that's just to die for.
And they call it a two-owner car, but it's actually a mother and son were the former two owners. It's only got 40-some thousand miles on this car.
Gorgeous.
And yeah, we went to a home in the city of Chicago and pulled this right out of the garage, just like you love to find them. You know, I would have to call this not a barn find, but an old garage find.
Yeah, what a beauty.
It's pretty cool. But that's in the Summer Classic. We're selling gas pumps. We're selling pinball machines. We're selling advertising. You name it, we're going to have it in the Summer Classic, including coins and jewelry will be in the Summer Classic. So if you have any of these type of items, contact us sooner than later because we still have openings for the August auction, the Summer Classic. It's a 2-day auction, August 16th and 17th. We're going to be doing it live here right here at the Union location, but it will be online all across the world.
Yeah, and again, we need your coins for this auction. We have a coin expert on staff, Ryan, who you want to speak to. He can go over your coins and tell you whether it's just worth scrap silver or if you have something that's worth a lot of money. And you'd be surprised sometimes. You'd think it's just a plain Washington quarter, but if it's the right date, it can be worth a lot of money.
And you're so right on target there, Mike, because so often people turn their coins in for scrap gold and scrap silver. It's so popular right now because, of course, the cost of gold is so high that people are very happy with what they're being offered for scrap. When in reality, so often numistically, and by that I mean by checking the dates and the coins themselves and everything, they have way more value often than scrap value. So please contact us if you have coin collections that you need looked at and evaluated. Again, Ryan Boyle is our coin expert. He's here on site, but we also go off location. Ryan will come to your home and evaluate your coin collection for you.
That and sports memorabilia he does too.
And toys. He's an expert in 3 very strong categories that we sell here. Ryan is... again, our coin expert. He does sports memorabilia. And my goodness, again, the prices he gets for sports memorabilia is outstanding.
Yeah, that last auction, that pair of sneakers, those Michael Jordan sneakers, if you had showed me those, I wouldn't have given you $10 for them. What did he get for them?
I don't know, over 15,000. Yeah. But they were game worn.
Okay.
I mean, I have to say, yes, they were beat, but they were Michael Jordans. They had the provenance, and you know that word provenance, ladies and gentlemen, is something we're going to be preaching all the time on our upcoming radio shows to remind you how important it is if you've got, the facts to prove what something is, and that's something that Ryan also will help you with, because sometimes you don't have the grading or that on your items, but we can get all of that done for you.
And it makes a big difference. I mean,
Boy, it sure does.
You can bring a baseball card from a $100 card to a $5,000 card.
Just like that.
Yep.
So, again, these are our fields that we can help you in. With all of our auctions. We've got so many different auctions, different styles of auctions, that there's almost anything that you could have collected over the years, we can sell for you, and of course at top dollar. In this August auction, slot machines, oh my goodness. Not only do we have great slot machines for you, but we're still looking for more. Slot machines and jukeboxes, old vending machines. We have a milk vending machine, Mike, that I've never seen one like this. It came out of the 1950s. It's all restored. It's pretty cool.
Vended the little cartons, the little paper cartons of milk.
Yeah, I've never seen a vending machine like that. So you constantly surprise us because, of course, we've only been doing this for 50 years each, so we haven't seen everything. We love to be surprised.
Well, like we were surprised with that soccer machine the lady emailed us had in her basement.
Talk about that a little bit. Yeah. I'd love Mike to share this story with you because it's classic auction lore.
Yeah, this we get a email from a woman who shows that she has this machine in her basement, and it's all laying there in parts, and apparently her husband had passed away, and it was something he had been restoring or had started to restore and took it apart, and then he passed, and it laid there for several years, and she wanted to clean her basement out, so she heard our ad on the radio, and she called us or actually emailed us with a picture of it. And the woman who handles our incoming emails, she showed it to me, and at first I said, well, I don't know. I said it might bring a few $100s. So the woman was told that it wasn't going to bring a lot, and then Lillian.
And she was okay with that.
Yeah, and Lillian kept pestering me. Well, we got to go pick this up. So we had a truck going by the area, so we picked it up and we brought it here. And looked at it and decided.
It didn't look like much, I'll tell you.
It was all...
honestly, if you would have offered me that machine in its condition for $500-600, I think personally I probably would have passed on it.
Yeah,
But you, Mike, researched it.
Yeah, only because I couldn't find another game like it, and our resources are pretty deep. So when I can't find something, it's usually a pretty good sign that it's pretty good. So in comes this pile of parts, and I start looking at it, and well, this will fit here, and pretty soon, that'll go there. And before I knew it, we had the whole game put together. He had all the parts there, and it was put back together. And we put it in our last coin op auction, and it brought how much?
$10,000.
Yes, and we were.
What a surprise!
And were we happy to give that woman a phone call?
Absolutely, and that's what we love doing for you, is finding those surprises, because it can only happen in an auction.
Yep.
And the beauty is we're all over the country. And the right people spotted it. It takes two. Two people had to bid on that in order to get it that high.
Yeah, and we got the word out. That's another thing. We have a great crew that gets all the word out on these things through social media. And a guy heard about it in New York. He had heard that the game existed. Nobody had ever. It was the only one of its kind, it turned out. It was a prototype model, and it never went into production. And he had heard that the game had been made, and there was rumors that it was around, but nobody ever found the game until now. Then it turned up. But our social media got the word out and found the two guys who were willing to battle it out.
Only at Donley Auctions, folks.
So we're going to take a break now, and when we come back, we'll be talking more about the auction process, upcoming auctions, and things we're looking for.
During this break, visit our website at DonleyAuctions.com. That's DONLEY, auctions with an S.com. Hi, I'm Randy Donley, and I'd like to welcome you back to the Donley Auctions Hour. I'm here with my brother Mike Donley, and joining us in the studio right now is Susan Donley, who's a co-owner of Donley Auctions. And welcome, Susan.
Hi, Randy and Mike. Good to be back in the studio.
It is. With our first show on 890, I wanted to make sure that you were here for the inaugural show, so to speak.
I wouldn't miss it. Are you kidding me? I got to be on the radio with you guys. I got to make sure it's all running smoothly.
Of course.
Susan, as long as you joined us here, why don't we go over the auction process? Because you're integral to the whole thing. You're the glue that holds that whole thing together and makes it run over there.
Definitely try to be the gorilla glue of the company for
yes,
sure.
Yes.
Gorilla glue.
Absolutely. So
ding ding.
She cracks a whip and keeps everybody in line and keeps the whole thing running over there. And it's quite a job because of Randy and I are kind of out and about every day
on the road.
Well, you guys are integral too, bringing the stuff in. Once it gets in, then I take it over from there. Right. So that's what happens. You guys are on the road, getting the great merchandise into the company. I take it from there. We get it inventory.
So kind of walk them through the process. The items get here, whether we bring them in or whether people drop them off. And if somebody was coming with a drop-off, what actually happens? They walk in the door, they're greeted, and
hey,
you
what
take
you
over.
got? What's in that truck? Ryan, get the camera. Let's see what they have.
Okay.
Once we find out what they have,
then what?
Then we go through the whole process with them and discuss the contract and make sure that they understand all the fine print. We go ahead and get a contract signed. We inventory everything, get it all tagged with an inventory number so that they have a complete list when they walk out the door of everything we have in our possession. Mm-hmm. And then we also talk to them about which auction it's going to go into, so their expectations are set.
Well, and of course, there's a cost to this. I mean, we have to explain what does it cost for somebody to sell through us?
It depends on what they have, right?
Certainly.
The bigger the items, hopefully the more value they will be. We discuss a commission rate with them, depending, of course, on the value of the item and how many items they have.
So a typical commission could be anywhere from as high as 35% for what we would refer to as low-end items, all the way up as little as 10% for more expensive items like cars or motorcycles.
That's correct. And you know what? We always work on a case-by-case basis. If somebody is bringing us a truckload of really good stuff, you might negotiate a 10% deal with them.
Wow.
You never know. You never know.
And anything's possible. But,
that's what I mean. It's a case-by-case basis because we really need to see what they have.
Mike, you wanted to talk about upcoming auctions.
Yes. Some of the things we are looking for upcoming auctions, obviously guns and ammo and guns and military items.
Yes. Now, guns happens to be, especially in the city of Chicago, a very controversial item.
Yes.
But on the other hand, what do people do when they especially inherit a gun collection? All of a sudden, somebody gets themselves anywhere from 5 to 500 guns. And I don't say that jokingly, because we just had a woman bring in 400 guns to us. We actually went and picked them up. But when she came here, she consigned 400 guns. We can take any size of collection. And the important thing is what? Most people are worried about laws, state
Correct.
laws and federal laws, as they should be. And we have even known people that take guns and turn them into the police station and just give them away because they don't know what to do with them.
Thousands and thousands of dollars. We've seen that happen. We are federal and state licensed gun dealers.
Absolutely.
Which means that we can take possession of your firearms even if you do not have a FOID card. We can take possession of them and sell them legally for you.
Sometimes people don't know what we're talking about when we say a FOID card. First, we have an FFL, a Federal Firearms License.
Correct.
And we can take care of all of your gun selling needs for you. And a FOID card is
It's issued in Illinois, and it's a firearm owner's ID card.
Identification card.
Correct.
Sure.
And you have to have one to own a firearm anywhere in the state of Illinois.
So if they don't have one, though, that doesn't mean they can't sell them as long as they're doing it legally.
Correct.
The best way to do that is to turn the guns over to an FFL like us, and we will take care of making sure that all of the state and federal regulations and rules, laws are taken care of. So once they get a receipt from us that they have turned over their guns to us, they've complied with all the laws.
That's correct. And it's the easiest way to do it. Now, unfortunately, a lot of the gun collections come to us when a husband passes away. And the wives are clueless. Number one, they never really paid much attention to what their husband was collecting or how much he was collecting or what he was spending on it. And they are in the dark. So many times we see this happen, and it's unfortunate, where people will show up, friends of the husband, and buy the guns off of her and not be quite as fair as they should with her.
Unfortunately, sometimes the friends were the husband's friends, not the wife's friends.
That's correct. And they have no idea what her husband was spending on the items. I mean, time after time, we get these collections in and we sell them. And when the wife is presented with a check, she is shocked.
Shocked,
Absolutely shocked, because she had no idea how much the guns were costing.
Well, all too often, unfortunately, so many guys come home with a gun from a gun show or a gun shop or however they purchased it, and they might indicate to their wife that they spent a lot less than they actually spent on it.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is once they bring him here, they're only dealing with one person, Neil, our firearms expert. Mm-hmm. They're working with Neil direct. He's getting everything documented in the books for the ATF, making sure every T is crossed and every I is dotted. So it's good to know that when they come here, they've got a trustworthy person to work with.
Absolutely. And just like we've said in the last segment, when we're selling firearms, we're selling them all across the country. We're online, and people aren't just coming into our location and we're hoping that hundreds of people show up. We're selling across the country online, where thousands of people are viewing our catalogs and seeing everything that we've got for sale. And that's how we get top dollar.
Email us at consign@donleyauctions.com. That's CONSIGN @donleyauctions.com.
And another thing is the military souvenirs. If you or a loved one has collected military souvenirs from all wars, Civil War on up to the present wars, we can sell those items for you. The highest and most sought after things right now, of course, are anything from World War II, whether it be German, American, or Japanese. Mm-hmm. It all has value, even down to photo albums. It's amazing what some of these items will bring. what may look like a plain bayonet to you could be worth over $1,000 if it's got the right maker's name on it and it's from the right type of rifle. You can't afford to guess at these items.
Right. And we're always happy to evaluate for you. There's no charge for that. You can just simply email us photographs and or bring the items in or have us come out and look at them.
Mm-hmm. We're always happy to come
Let
out.
me give you the email address. You got a pen? Write this down. Consign at DonleyAuctions.com. That's CONSIGN at DonleyAuctions with an S.com. Keep in mind, too, speaking of upcoming auctions, our next firearm and military auction, September 20th and 21st.
Okay. And again, again, this being our first show, I want to say this time and time again. Donley is spelled DONLEY. DonleyAuctions.com. So, always looking for guns and military. And what comes up after that? The Fall Classic.
The Fall Classic, the big one, the really big one.
Yeah, the really big.
Okay, the dates for the Fall Classic will be in October this year, October 23rd through the 25th. And we are working these dates around the Chicagoland Coin Op Show.
That's correct. So people will be coming in from all over the country. They come to our auction before the show, and it's a great time to sell anything coin operated. We say coin op, that's coin operated. Pinball machines, jukeboxes, slot machines, gumball machines, anything that took a coin.
I have a really important question.
Sure.
Will there be Haagen-Dazs bars again at this one?
Well,
I've been
okay,
asked.
Susan.
Inquiry minds want to know.
Here's the situation. When you come to one of our auctions, most of our auctions are during the day. Some are in the evening. But certainly we always provide free food and beverage. So you don't have to take a break and run somewhere for lunch. We're always supplying food and beverage. And at some shows, of course,
There
we
might be
do
little
provide
surprises, yeah.
Haagen-Dazs.
Or cookies.
Cookies and chips and all kinds of great stuff to get you to stick around and bid some more.
Absolutely, absolutely. We don't want you to leave.
Well, it's
once
like
you
an
get
event.
here.
That's what I want to point out. It's an event. The auctions are a lot of fun. Surprises every time we have one. We have great seating, tables and chairs, and
Very comfortable atmosphere.
complimentary alcoholic beverages, too.
Well, and that's it. We invite anybody to come out to one of our live auctions to see what we're all about.
Yes.
You can watch the auctions online too at DonleyAuctions.com, but come out live and meet us. We'd love to meet you and see what you have, and you can sit here and see what we do.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. As you get to know us on the air, as we keep doing this every week, every Saturday at 7 p.m., we'll let you know what shows we're going to be at in the Chicago area too, because we get out on the road all the time, and we're set up at various shows. So if you're not coming to our location, you can at least meet us up at one of the shows near your own location.
You know, one of the things we're looking for, we need a bar. We need a big old bar.
We
out
do
of the
need
saloon.
a bar. One to sell, not one to work at.
One to sell. So if you've got a building you've closed up and there's an old bar in there, or if you know one, some of you had these man caves where you got the bars in them. One maybe you bought years ago and sitting in the garage you were going to restore and never get to. We need a big bar, the big old Brunswick bars.
And Mike, let people know this, how easy it is for us to remove a bar. How many times have we gone into locations where a bar is in its original location?
Oh, yeah.
And it's been there since the 1920s or 30s, and people look at us like it's going to be some major project to get it out. But that's what we do.
We're out in a couple hours. We have the equipment. We have the expertise. We've been doing this since
Since we were teenagers.
Yeah, 40, 50, 60 years already.
Oops.
And so we have the equipment and the expertise. We bring in a crew, and most times we're in and out of there
In and
2
out
hours.
in a few hours,
Yeah.
absolutely. And what looks like an overwhelming project to most people, we can take care of this for you and get great money for your
Yeah,
bar.
we bring them back to our facility here. We set them back up and advertise them, and it's just shocking. We even had Gene Autry's bar here a few years ago.
That we did. Remember that. We went
I
and picked
remember.
that up in California.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a bar you had been chasing for years.
You know, Susan and I used to go to Las Vegas to the Imperial Palace Hotel, where there was a big car collection. And they had this bar, Gene Autry's bar, set up in the casino in Las Vegas, Imperial Palace. And I always wanted that bar, but it was never for sale, never for sale. And then when the car collection got sold off, a car collector from California bought the bar. And as he ended up selling off his collection, we went and picked the bar up that I had been chasing, like you say, for years, and brought it back here to Illinois. And now it went back out west again. This bar's going all across the country for year after year. And so, again, not only saloon bars, but we're looking for soda fountain, barber shop, tobacciana. We're looking for stuff out of tobacco stores. But I would have to say, next to saloon bars, ice cream parlor bars and back bars, all beautiful marble with the mirrors and leaded glass and everything. That's the kind of things we're looking for.
Anything soda machines too, Pepsi machines, Coca-Cola machines, vending machines, or fountain dispensers. I mean, I think we hold a world record for a fountain dispenser, a Coca-Cola fountain dispenser.
I think we do.
I know we do.
It sold for I think the end price after commission and so on was in the 40s, low 40,000s.
Yeah, and there was one of only like 6 made for the 33 World's Fair.
And let's talk about this. You know, we keep telling you, you can't take the chance about being the best guesser. Okay, gentleman came and he wanted to consign this. He knew it was rare. And the day of the auction, he comes up to me and he says, I have to pull the Coca-Cola dispenser. He said, I can't sell it. I got too good of an offer. I said, well, you can't pull it. He said, Randy, he said, I have to. He said, a guy just offered me $12,000 for it. I can't turn that down. And I said, if he's going to pay $12,000 before the auction, he'll pay $12,000 during the auction. Do not pull this item. I said, let us sell it. And the hammer price was over $35,000. And he was just absolutely blown away at how this could have happened, and he was so happy he never pulled the item.
Yeah, but we see that happen all the time, though.
Did the guy with the $12,000 bid win it? Probably
No,
not. He didn't.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Yeah, I think he was out at like 14,000.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
You never know when you have two people fighting over something.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. That's the fun of
It's
it.
the beauty of an auction.
But, you know, we're talking about bars and back bars. I'm glad you brought that up, Mike, because what we're trying to do, folks, is let you know the wide variety of items that we're looking for. So I should point out any old architecture. I mean, we've been doing architecture our whole life. I mean, think about that.
Old chandeliers, the bigger the better.
Yeah.
There's no chandelier that's too big for us.
No. Well, there was one. As a matter of fact, we sold off all the chandeliers out of a bank in the city of Chicago.
American National Bank.
Okay. And the chandeliers in the lobby of this bank were 20-some foot themselves. They needed a 40-foot ceiling. And boy, I did not want to take those down. But the chandeliers ended up, I'm told, we did not talk to Donald Trump, but I'm told the buyer who bought them for one of the Trump hotels at the time. So you just never know. But that was something that was too big for me. I did not want to move that one.
What didn't we move out of there? Remember that?
The safe.
That big vault door.
Oh, my gosh. I wanted that safe so bad. It had this huge time lock door on it. And
The thing must have been 7 foot tall
Oh,
and about
easy.
2 or 3 foot thick. I've never seen a big round one like
It
out
was
of the
just
movies.
so cool, though. It's something that Donley Auctions really needed. I mean, it was just too cool. So we'll take an attempt at almost
If it's
anything.
big and heavy, we'll take it.
You know, and
Big
that's
and
another
heavy.
thing people constantly tell us. They love coming to our auctions because they say we have the most unusual stuff here.
It's very eclectic.
It's crazy. But that's how Randy's and my tastes have always been. We're always looking for the crazy
Yeah.
unusual. I mean, we've had radial aircraft engines here. I mean, you name it. We've had it here. It's crazy stuff we've had come through here.
It's so true. I mean, the more unusual, the better.
Give us a call at 815-923-7000.
We'll also go out to a location. We'll sell right at the site.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one of my favorite auctions was when we sold off the contents of the Medina Temple in the city of Chicago. And what a fun auction that was. But tell the story about how we ended up getting that auction. We actually went there to buy antiques, right, Mike?
That's correct. We had, at the Wild West Town here, we had a picnic grove here, and the Medina Temple, one of their Scottish Rite was having their picnic here. And we were just talking to the guys, and they were talking about how they were going to close down Medina Temple, and the building was going to be sold off.
And they had some old gambling equipment.
Yeah, so they said, come on out there. So we go out there, and we look, and they had 2 roulette tables. Right. And
which we ended up buying.
We bought off them, and then we said, well, what are you going to do with all the rest of the stuff? And they just looked around, and they said, I guess throw it away.
And it was going to the dumpster. There were people rolling by, hand trucks full of stuff with a big dumpster out behind the Medina Temple when we were there.
Yeah, and so we told them, we said, wait, don't throw this stuff away. We'll sell it. And they're looking at us like, who'd want this stuff? And it was crazy. We sold everything. It made big headlines. News stories came out and did it. And
absolutely. It was so much fun. And that's another thing. So often, items that you might have that you see every day, you just don't put that kind of value on it and understand how somebody else can look at something and love it and want to buy it. And that's, again, the eye that we have here at Donley Auctions. We can look at a building and a location and decide whether it's iconic or not, and sell items that you very well may be ready to throw away.
Iconic, like Joe's Chicago?
Oh, Joe's
Tavern.
wasn't that a fun one, Susan?
That's my ultimate favorite auction, next to the Grateful Dead auction, though, too.
Yeah, Joe's Chicago.
Oh, Chicago Joe's.
Chicago Joe's.
Yeah.
And it was, on Irving Park Road, right? Mm-hmm. And first, I always used to like to go there to eat. I mean, it was a great bar and restaurant, but the property became too valuable, and the owners sold off the location so a building could be put there. And we just went in and assessed the situation. And that was a fun auction.
Yeah.
Well, we did it on site. We did it
That was
there.
done on site, yeah.
Right when it started to rain.
Pouring rain, yeah.
The pouring rain.
So,
we were nervous.
So here's an auction that we're getting ready to start. Now, according to auction law, folks, once you start an auction, you can't stop it if things aren't going right. If all of a sudden you're not getting the prices or anything, the law states you cannot stop an auction. And that was because before auctions were online, theoretically in bad weather, 5 people might show up. And if you didn't like the auction, a lot of owners would want to stop it. Well, that's not the case anymore with online because people are bidding all over the world. But auction law still states that you can't stop an auction once it starts. And of course, it was rainy, it was miserable, and it was not online. This was an auction that we were doing live. We did not have this auction online, so we were very dependent on people to show up.
It was pouring down rain, and we were all in the car deciding, what are we going to do? What are we going to do?
So my question to you two, both of you, I said, we got to make a decision. Do we go for it?
Yeah, I said, let's go for it. We've already done all the work.
You two made the right decision because I think I would have canceled that auction.
We get out of the truck and we go in, and there's a line all the way around the corner. People trying to get in.
It was fabulous.
It was so fun. They didn't care if it was raining or not.
No. People came out because they bought sentimentally. So many people loved Chicago Joe's. It was a great restaurant and bar in the community. It was a neighborhood event, and people had so many things, all the goodies, all the memorabilia hanging on the walls that they just had fallen in love with over the years, and they wanted to buy their memories.
How many people said they met their husband or wife there at the bar?
Absolutely.
Still married and bought a few things off the walls.
Yeah, everybody had a great story.
I still see some stuff at some places in St. Charles, down at the Arcata. He's got some great stuff down there.
Sure.
So that goes to show you, for another type of person, if you have a a business you might be closing down, a restaurant or something that's been around for a long time, or a bar
Yeah,
that
we're the
people have known, let us know. We can do an on-site auction for you that help you sell that memorabilia, and be surprised at what people are willing to pay for it.
And not necessarily everything in the business, sometimes just the sign. I mean, right down the road from Chicago Joe's, right?
Yeah.
We were going to lunch at a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
And we noticed that the neon was all broken out of the sign. This great old neon sign hanging in front of the Chinese restaurant. So we asked the owners if they wanted to sell the sign, that we could sell it for them at the same auction that we were selling Chicago Joe's. They agreed to sell the sign, and it went for crazy good money, because there was somebody that had loved and cherished that sign for years and years and had to have it. And it was such a fun story.
2 people.
Well,
wanted it.
2 people, right? Yeah, had to bid it up. But there again, that sign ended up selling for, I think, 3 or 4 times the amount that the owner was hoping for. And you just don't know. Again, when you've got a business in the city of Chicago or suburbs or anywhere for that matter, we're always happy to come and look at the location and tell you our opinions as to what we can help you with.
So how do they get a hold of you? Can I give them your number?
Please do.
Office number. All right, you want to call us? You got something in a restaurant or a bar, anything that we just talked about, give us a call at 815-923-7000.
Or
you can always email us. I know a lot of people like to email at consign@donleyauctions.com. That's CONSIGN at donleyauctions with an S.com.
sounds great. So we've got more auctions constantly, but we're looking for items. We're looking to buy items personally also. Sometimes people don't want to auction. Well, we encourage you to auction all the time, because if you want to sell your items, and so many people say, no, Randy, I'm just going to sell it. Make me an offer, or here's what I want for it, or anything. We will buy, but we encourage you to auction it, because if I buy it, I'm selling it at my auction. I trust the process so much that if I buy from you, I'm only going to sell it and make a profit. So we'd rather see that profit in your wallet. Our expression again is make it fit in your wallet. So consign with Donley Auctions to make that happen. I'm always looking for cannons. So if you have any connection with parks or VFW halls or anything that might have a field piece out there or a cannon that you would like to sell, never too big for us. Call Donley Auctions at 815-923-7000 and keep us in mind for anything like that.
Yeah, I'd also like to mention real quick, if anyone has any topics of discussion you'd like us to talk about in a future radio show, please let us know.
This being the end of our first show ever on WLS, we encourage you to come back next week at 7 o'clock and let us know what you'd like us to be telling you and talking about with antiques. Always contact us, because our upcoming shows, we'd like to have information that you want to hear about.
And we're going to have interesting guests. Some of our other experts will come on and talk about their fields, and people who have interesting collections that we'll be talking to. So there's a lot going to be coming up, and we encourage you to listen.
So for now,
I'm Susan.
I'm Mike.
and I'm Randy Donley, and we'll see
we'll
you at the auction.